Never too young to die. What a newsie this is. Let's get into it. Never Too Young to Die is from 1986. It lasts 1 hour 36 minutes. It stars John Stamos, Gene Simmons, and Vanity. And special appearance by George Lazenby, who doesn't even bother trying to act in this newsie. That's true, but we'll get there. The movie opens with a musical montage of John Stamos, Lance Stargrove, by the way, practicing gymnastics at, I think it's college, yeah. And he leaves there, and he goes and takes a test, and his friend Cliff is like this technical genius, and Cliff sends Lance the answers to his wristwatch. Yeah, that's all very high tech. High tech on a budget. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Cliff asks Lance if his father is going to come to the parents' evening. Lance makes up some excuse. He knows his father won't be there. Yeah, because he's never there. He cut to his father, and he's tunnelling under the Hoover Dan. Yeah, him and a couple of colleagues. Yeah, one of the guys, he's got like a big ginger beard and ginger hair, and he looks like a ginger Chuck Norris. He does a bit. Anyway, it turns out they're spies. Yeah. And they're trying to get to the bad guy's lair. So as they get further into the Hoover Dam, Carruthers, who? Ginger Chuck Norris. Alright. Carruthers attacks his teammates. It turns out he's their double agent. Yeah, he's that guy. He runs off though. Doesn't kill them, he just attacks them and then gets chased off. Yeah, he makes his escape. The other two carry on with the mission. The other two are Drew, who is Lance's father, and the other guy. Yeah. So they come upon a gang of villains. Yeah, and these villains, they're not like dressed like military guards, they're not dressed like private security, they're all dressed like dirty bikers. They look like extras from one of the Mad Max movies. But the bad guys all have machine guns and rifles and handguns. Yeah, that Drew takes out an umbrella and it's Truth. Yeah, much like Kingsman. Hey, we'll watch Kingsman one day. Okay. But we get a bit of a battle and only Drew survives.
Obviously.
Yeah, and he's captured though, and he's taken to the leader of the bad guys. And this leader is called Velvet Von Ragnar. And this is Gene Simmons. Yeah, and we find out this character is both male and female. A what? A hermaphrodite. Yeah, that too. Yeah. So Velvet interrogates Drew. Drew manages to escape. Yeah, but then he's captured and killed instantly. Yeah, he is.
LOL.
Very quickly murdered. Yet, so long. So we cut to Drew's funeral, and it's Lance, a bunch of old men, and Vanity. Yeah, this is Danja. We'll meet her later. Yeah. Lance finds out that his father actually owned a big farmhouse, so it's his now. So he decides to go and see this farmhouse, see what it's like. But before he gets there, we cut to the farmhouse, and Danja's there. Yeah. And she is riding a horse. She goes and puts the horse back in the barn, and then she's confronted by an actual barbarian. This guy looks like a barbarian from the Conan comics. Approaches her, confronts her, she kicks his ass, and then another guy, a smelly biker, a smelly biker. Not the bikers are smelly, but the bikers in this movie are smelly. Yeah. Joins in, they both start to fight her, and then that's when Lance appears. Yeah, he causes the distraction accidentally, and it lets her get away and knock the two guys on their butts, and then she says to Lance, run! And she blows up the barn. Yeah, so they're dead. You'd think so. The Dardarian's in it later. Yeah. So Lance stays at the farmhouse. Vanja goes and meets one of her colleagues. Yeah, Carruthers. She doesn't know he's a dodgy guy. No, she speaks to him. She gives him the skinny on Lance, and he gives her the skinny on Velvet. Yeah, lots of skinnies. Yeah. Then later that night, Danja goes to a nightclub where she knows Velvet will be. Yeah, and Lance follows her on his little dirt bike. Yeah. So they get there. We see inside the club, Velvet Von Ragnar is on stage performing. Yeah, all like in a big fancy costume, singing sounded just like the lead singer of Kiss. Yeah. Danja's a bit annoyed that Lance has followed her, but she also points to the stage and says, see that person there? That's who killed your father.
Interesting tactic.
And then she just leaves. Yeah, cheerio. And then Lance leaves, but he goes round the back of the building and he goes to the stage door and gets in. And he goes to Velvet's dressing room and says, oh, I'm a big fan, can I get a photograph? Velvet knows what's up, but Velvet plays along and says, yeah, here's a photograph, here's an autograph, take care now, bye bye. Yeah, the Kyle's in there getting the photograph and all that. The Dardarian, who should be blown into a million pieces by now, he turns up and he sneaks over to Lance's dike and he rigs it to explode.
It's gonna be a really loud banging noise.
Lance comes out, he holds up a little earpiece because he's actually left a little bug inside Velvet's dressing room. Yeah, Velvet knows, picks it up and just flushes it down the toilet.
Goodbye, my lovely.
Not much of a sty, Lance. Well, even though he's the son of an actual sty. Oh yeah, also we probably didn't mention his father is played by one-time James Bond George Lazenby. Yeah, and he does not want to be there. He just grins and smirks and snails through it all. Nobody's trying to be suave. He could maybe say he's trying to be a bit suave, but that no, he actually just looks like he's not trying to act. Right. Anyway, Lance hears the bug being flushed, so he thinks, I'll just go home. He starts to get onto his motorbike, but then a big thug appears. Yeah, some big drunk guy comes out and he's like, oh, nice little dike, I'll take it. He shoves Lance to the curb and just takes the dike. Yeah, he does. He gets on the bike and it immediately blows up.
Does he deserve to die?
After this, we cut to Danja. She's out driving an open road and she's being chased by some bikers. Yeah, obviously Velvet's gang. Yeah, she manages to lose them for a second because she drives her car right under a truck. Very dangerous, but pretty cool. That gives her time to get her gun out and she shoots some tyres, sending some bikers falling to their doom. She shoots one of them, and then the final one is actually Lance, so it's just a good judge she didn't shoot him. Yeah, it is. Where did he get the bike? Yeah, I don't know where he got this other bike, but he just ditches it anyway because he gets in her car and they both drive off to the farmhouse together. Dan just sets off in her car again, is instantly surrounded by more bikers, and she's captured this time.
Second time's a charm.
Meanwhile, Lance is at the farmhouse, yeah, and these two guys come in, right? And they're like, here's the disc. Where's the disc, Nate? And they beat him up. They absolutely brutalise him. And he's lying on the ground crying, right? Beside a snatched photograph of his father. And then he looks at his father's photograph and decides, actually, I'm a ninja. He gets up and he starts kicking ass. He just, for some reason, decides, actually, I'm sure I can fight. So he does. He gets up, beats the two guys up, throws them through a window, but not before getting information about where Danja's being held. And yeah, he's a kick-ass machine now. He also finds a coin at this point. Yeah, and he decides, oh, that must be a key.
Why would he?
But he's right, because it opens up a secret passage, which leads to a secret room where his father kept all his weapons and all his confidential files. Yeah, and photos of presidents. Not him with presidents, just photos of presidents. Anyway, Lance comes back out of the room and there's a biker in his house with a flamethrower. Yeah, he jumps down and attacks him. He's holding a gun, he could just shoot him. But he jumps down, attacks him, and then he realises, it's Cliff! Cliff came along to help. I don't know how he knew he was in trouble, but there you go. Now they find the disc in that secret room, and Cliff has looked at it and he says, this disc will allow the user to control a satellite, which will contaminate the water supply from the Hoover Dam and poison it forever. Yeah. What? That's their plan. Poison the water supply forever. Oh, that might just backfire. They haven't thought this out, I don't think. Who? The bad guys? The script writers? Well. So Lance and Cliff decide, let's go get Danja. So they go to... is it an industrial factory by any chance? Yeah. It always is in these movies. It actually always is. An industrial factory, an industrial warehouse. or somewhere that's cheap to film. So they go there. Danja's basically about to be cremated, even though she's still alive. Yeah, she's going to be burned alive. Luckily, Cliff and Lance get in there. Yeah, these two teenagers who are just out of high school and in college, they're just going to start shooting other men. No questions asked, just start murdering them. They manage to free Danja, and they all flee together. Bad guys, the mutants, they get chased a little bit, but not that much. During this, Lance and Danja figured out that Carruthers is corrupt and working for Velvet. They're back at the farmhouse now, and Danja's very interested in this. I think Cliff's gone home. Well, we don't see Cliff, so I guess so. So Danja kisses him. Yeah, she kisses Lance, but he pulls away, and then she decides to sunbathe, yeah, right in front of them, and then take her top off in front of them, and then wash herself down with a hose in front of them. She really wants more kisses. Yeah, she does. He's reluctant. He goes into the house and tries to distract himself. Yeah, he eats 2 apples. He eats 2 apples and watches her topless. Yep, and then they make love. Yeah, they do. For a long time. It's a bit of a drawn out scene with lots of strange cuts. Yeah. Later we see Cliff being knocked out and someone steals his bike. Yeah, the Dardarian again, who should have been killed in that darn explosion. Yeah, that's right. But anyway, he takes Cliff's bike. Meanwhile, Carruthers comes and picks up Danja and Lance. Yeah, and on board, he reveals he is dirty. Yeah, that he's really like, he's not just working for Velvet. He is Velvet! He takes off his ginger wig and his ginger beard, and he is Velvet von Ragnar. Oh, what a movie. So Lance and Danja are taken to the bad guys' hideout. They're all outside in a big circle. Lance and Danja stand in the middle. Barbarian rolls up and he's happy to tell Velvet that he's got the disc. The plan is about to be put into motion. Lance and Danja are about to be executed, but Lance says to Barbarian, I think I could beat you in a fight. And he challenges them to a fight. Yeah, so everyone's like, okay, let them fight. There are armed bikers all around the perimeter of this now fighting arena. Yeah, so Danja steps out the way. Lance and Dardarian are about to fight. Dardarian pulls out like a big chain or a hat or something. That's right. Lance does a big backflip, knocks out one of the guards behind him, takes his machine gun and just starts spraying bullets everywhere. Duck, Danja! All the crowd flee. At the same time, an army helicopter comes down. A CIA helicopter comes down. Yeah, that starts shooting the crowd as well. Velvet and his right-hand gang just run off inside the Dan. Yeah, they go inside, they pick up a little laptop and they run off. Yeah, so Lance chases them. The CIA helicopter picks up Danja and they take out all the other bad guys, the goons. Velvet and the gang get to a truck, they make their escape. Danja manages to take out the gang, but Velvet makes it onto the top of the Hoover Dam with the little laptop and the disc. Yeah, and he activates the countdown so that all the water in America will be poisoned forever. Lance chases him across the dam. They're both standing front and centre on the top of the dam and they have a fight. Yeah, and Lance is kicking Velvet's ass. But then Velvet's got this fingernail, right? And it's like a blade. It's a really sharp blade. Velvet starts reasoning with Lance, saying, you wouldn't hit a woman, would you? I'm half woman. Yeah, and Lance is like, what? And then Velvet stabs Lance with the tiny fingernail. Yeah, I mean, that is a stab. Yeah, that it's like tiny. Yeah, it's not going to kill him. This allows Velvet to throw Lance over the edge of the dam. Yes, Lance is hanging on, and Velvet's like hitting his fingers and cutting his fingers with a little fingernail blade and all this.
What a bastard.
Relishing it. Yeah, meanwhile the timer's counting down. Danja in the helicopter appears overhead. She's got a flamethrower, but she can't really do anything from that distance. And then just as Lance is about to fall to his doom, he looks up at Velvet and says, I just want to tell you something.
How beautiful you are.
And that gives him the distraction to take Velvet's own hand, stab that little fingernail blade into Velvet's neck. Yeah, it's just a little cut. Yeah, but it's enough to allow Lance to grab Velvet by the head and pull Velvet over the edge of the dam. And Velvet falls all the way down and crashes on the rocks below. That's the end of Velvet. Lance gets back onto the top deck and he runs across, finds the laptop. He only has 10 seconds left. The timer's counting down. The password to shut it down doesn't work. He can't stop the countdown. No, it was all for nothing. And then Danja has an idea. She throws him the flamethrower. Yeah, and I thought he was going to like burn the laptop, which might work. It might. He throws the laptop up in the air, throws the flamethrower up in the air. They collide in the air and they both blow up. And apparently that starts it. Yeah, that's it. So the world is saved, or at least America. Yeah, America is saved.
And that's all that matters.
Lance and Cliff are given a car to use because the CIA have turned up now. Yeah, and Lance says to Danja, "Thanks for your help. See you around, sweetheart." Yeah, but then he comes back and he takes her with him. So Lance, Danja and Cliff all leave, and that is the end of the movie. And that was a wild ride. That was great fun. Do you enjoy it? Yeah, watch this. It's nuts. What did you think? I thought it was absolutely mad. But it was good fun. Oh dear. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and come back and watch another video. See you next time. Wanna rock you all night long like Ginger Chuck Norris.